Yeah, you've really been brought face to face with quite a few home truths recently on this journey that you've been going. But I will want to say that that's what you wanted. Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot, and welcome back if you're a returning subscriber, and if you're new here, hello, hope you like what you see. Now this is the July reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus if you want, Mercury if you want, whatever area of your chart you're wanting to look at. Always useful to listen to the reading through the filter of the planet or sign that you're thinking of. If you don't know what your rising sign is, or you're not familiar with your chart, there is a link down in the description for you to get yourself a free birth chart. Now, as I say, this is the July reading, but as with all general readings, timing is not absolute. So this is what that means is it's the reading I'm performing for July. It doesn't necessarily mean the reading is for July, if you get what I mean. I could probably say that better. But timing's not absolute in a general reading. This is different to a lot of the general readings on YouTube because either the whole thing is for you or it isn't. There is a past and a present in this spread. If the past and the present don't fit, then this reading is not for you. Go and watch your moon sign. Go and watch your rising sign. If they do fit, take the lot. Listen to it. Consider it. Think about it. Often these readings are not so much to be prophetic as they are just to get you to think. The end result of the reading is not what the reading says, it's how you react and how you think about and consider and weigh up what the reading says, and then act accordingly. If that makes sense as well. So, like I say, general reading, it's all yours or it's not. What I would like you to do is ask a question. So, take a moment if you have to, pause the video, think about all of the questions that are around you. Focus on one of them. The energy of the focus should give energy to the reading, which hopefully I will return to you. And if I don't, the universe will find a way of returning that to you. But be aware of all of the questions, because the cards will answer whatever they please and not necessarily what you and I think are the most well, the highest priority question, let's put it that way. So I think that's everything. Any more details are in the description below, as is a link to my Facebook page for this channel, where obviously I post these videos and also astrology videos that I watch and other interesting things that I find. You can contact me through that directly if you are wanting a personal reading. Plus, give me your feedback, whether it's in the comment section here or on the Facebook page. The feedback is really, really, well, welcome, to be honest. It makes me well aware that I'm doing more than just sat waffling a load of nonsense at a camera. So there's my begging. Oh no, I haven't finished begging. Like, share and subscribe. Obviously, new channel, not a year old yet. I'm still in my diapers. So a like button helps the video and a subscribe helps the channel, or as Soul Garden TV puts it, helps me with my Google politics. So with no further ado, let me bring up the cards. Now, it does look like, well, I was led to use the cheerful Dark Grimoire Tarot as the main tarot for this month, which bodes well, doesn't it? So you appear to be at a point of transformation. You've come to a new place, a new... I'm not really surprised. Yeah, that's very sepia on the camera. I'll change now, I think. I'm not really surprised with everything that's been going on with your readings, but it's, you have moved from somewhere to where you are now, whether that means geographically, philosophically, employment wise, whatever that means. But you have embarked on a journey. You have traveled some form of distance, whether physical, philosophical, whatever. And now you're at the point of, right, I'm here now. Do I change with this? Do I transform with this? Do I take my dream forward with this? Do I act on the hope that I had recently been shown, the insight and the knowledge that I have recently been given? Do I act on that to recover from this past hurt here? 3 of Swords, which the swords appear to be 3 ghosts on this one. No, I count 4, 5. Okay, more than 1. More than 3 even. But it's almost like there was some form of pain. Yeah, we're doing the past bit now. There was some form of pain that brought a whole number of things to your attention, but quite a lot of, I want to say there was learning involved in this. It's not just learning as in understanding how you feel or how somebody else feels or what have you. Proper book learning. You saw that something worked a certain way and that has made you go, why is that working like that when I'd expect it to work like this? And it sent you on some soul searching, book searching, reading, researching, digging through YouTube videos, whatever. But 7 of Pentacles here, but very much about putting the work in to find things out, because I'm really drawn to the no doubt it's some form of Lovecraftian spell book on this card. I'm really drawn to the fact that someone is whispering in his ear, but he's not necessarily listening to the whispers as in, yes, I will do what you say. He's listening to the whisperer, as if to go, okay, that's what you think. Now let me work out what I think. Very interesting. I just saw the card underneath. Storyteller, the Hermit card. So yeah, this was quite home and family based. But you had, after this hurt, whatever it was, and I'll dig into that later, you went within to find your own inner light, but you also looked for opposing points of view and research, facts and figures. That's what I'm getting from this, because the Storyteller, which is the Hermit card, and look how beautiful that, this is the Chrysalis Tarot, which, you know, it's in complete juxtaposition of the really cheerful Dark Grimoire Tarot. Let's turn it so the light's not reflecting it. On the bottom, the final one I used was the Mystical Manga. Manga, even. It's almost like you wanted to change things that were close around you. You wanted to change things that was on a physical level, on your day-to-day life. Not just some philosophical point in your mind, but actually, no, I'm going to create a doorway for myself. And as you did that, there was there was a glimmer of hope. Okay, so we have, because things started moving fast once you did this, didn't it? It was almost like this research, this looking from other points of view, gave you momentum, which finished in this, you going on this journey to where you are stood right now. It enabled you to surge forward with no small amount of insight, but it demanded a lot of you. Oh, that was weird. So this is the Page of Coins. Now, Page of Coins, Page of Pentacles, it's pretty much always my level up card. You know, you've gone through 1 to 10 and now you're a beginner at the next level. But for a second there, with the coin that he was holding, I saw here's my comic geek coming out, I saw the helmet of Dr. Fate. Just before my eyes adjusted to it properly. So there is an underlying order to this evolution that you've been going through. There is there's an old push with this. 9 of Mirrors. Yeah, you've really been brought face to face with quite a few home truths recently on this journey that you've been going. But I will want to say that that's what you wanted. You know, as uncomfortable as some of those truths were, they were still, it was magical. This Nine of Mirrors, I think, I'm not sure about what suit is what in this Chrysalis Tarot. It's only like the third time I've used this one, so I'm working totally intuitively. But 9 for me is very much rebirth. The fact that it's the little fairies and the leaves, which also look a tad frostbitten, but they're right next to sunflowers. So frostbitten leaves right next to sunflowers. You've been seeing the extremes of a situation. You've been seeing the extremes of your own self in this situation, in this journey, to know what your highest point is and what your lowest point is. I think that's highest and lowest as in what you can do for good or how mean you can really be to yourself. So I'm not seeing you being mean to anybody else, but I can see you being mean to you here until you decide to thaw out some of those frostbitten leaves. But clarity is certainly coming, but there is an underlying dream for this transformation. And like I said, with that Queen of Cups, I did feel that there was this was a dream that, although you may be working out all the details of it right now, it's actually been with you for quite some time. You know, maybe even since childhood. You're like, this new journey that you're on, you got to where you was aiming to be, and you suddenly go, hang on a minute, now I'm here, now I'm being this me this week. I can now fulfill the dream that I had as a child. I can be an astronaut stroke train driver stroke fireman stroke whatever. You know, there's it is all about you relying it's all about you relying totally on yourself here, but then that's not hard for an Aries to do. But we've got 2 walking off cards. So 9 of Stones, that's 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, I needn't worry about which suit that is. But she's walking away from the rocks. And then that's clarified yet again with the 8 of Cups. Somebody walking away from their dreams, but for a good reason. Notice they're not just walking away from something, they're walking not to something, but for something. So it's almost like you've put aside more recent concerns, or even more adult concerns. Let the mortgage take care of itself, because it right now, with where I am, it can take care of itself, for example. And I need to concentrate on this more fundamental dream to be Ace of Cups, to be with the moon, to be who I want to be. Now with the moon, I'm not seeing the deception and illusion and all that sort of thing here. That is a beautiful moon card. I'm seeing, look how it's made of map. The world expanding for you, and the world expanding for you in a magical way. You have been guarding this dream for quite some time, and now you finally have the chance to express it. Now, before I dive into the future-y bits, because you're aware that you have forward motion on something, and that there is a burden that you can take on board, which is a healing burden. And I wonder here whether you are healing yourself or healing others. You are healing yourself because it's the how you feel pile, but Chiron, we've got a centaur here who I'm going to assume is Chiron. He was a teacher. He didn't just heal himself, well, he didn't heal himself because look into the legend, but most of the time he did, but there was one thing he didn't. But he taught others how to heal and how to think and how to examine. And with this Queen of Swords here, she's shining her light like a beacon. She is issuing a call to arms. That probably sounds a bit more militaristic than I meant it to. She's issuing a call. Let's leave it at this. You are becoming the beacon that for a long time you thought you wouldn't be, and all of a sudden you have the chance to be this beacon again. But what is really interesting is from the oracle cards, we have Mammon, which, as you know, is was supposedly a god of money. Well, he was never a god. He was never a god. It was just the word for money. He was retroactively godified and then demonified. But Mammon just meant money. It's like when we say today that people worship money. That's what Mammon was. He was never an actual god. He got put into the form of a demon in the Dictionary Infernalum, probably before then, when being used in discussions. But Mammon card here says, yeah, focus on getting nice things, but just get enough. Just get all that you need. In fact, because for a reason, I looked up this boundaries card, and it was so similar to what the Mammon card says, because I see that boundaries card and I normally read it as, yeah, you're drawing boundaries between yourself and other people, and you're saying, here's the line and no further, you know, or I might be wanting to encourage you to release your boundaries a little or something like that. Wasn't any of them as I looked at it, so I thought, oh, check the book then. But first with Mammon, beware of avarice, focus on gaining needs and comforts, but avoid not being able to appreciate what we have in the constant pursuit of more. Now, you're starting here with the Ten of Pentacles, so there is a lot to appreciate, and that is what is allowing you to focus inward and focus forward on this new dream, so that you have everything that you need. But boundaries, once I looked it up, judging what you need and what you don't need allows you to place healthy boundaries. You teach people how to treat you, judge what is healthy and right for you with clarity and care. Now, in fact, the first time I read that, I didn't even see the word people. Judging what you need and what you don't need. And that's with the Hermit card, with the transformation. Stand up. With the Hermit card, with the transformation, there's a lot of you saying, right, that bit there, that's essential, keep that. That bit, what a load of nonsense, load of rot, I've been wasting my time, get rid. And simple as that, get rid. You're not losing anything by losing these things, whatever they are. Let's have a look. But it's very 3D world, real world, practical world, job, money, home, that sort of level, because we also have prosperity. We also have 3 cards came out the Oracle of Heaven Hell of Viualia, Daniel and Achaiah, with prosperity, eloquence and patience in turn. Now patience, you've got a Knight of Pentacles somewhere around here, I remember, yeah, right there. So what you're working on now will bear fruit, but it will bear fruit slowly, gently. It's almost like, okay, that doesn't make sense. I've got the phrase in my head, a rolling stone gathers no moss. So once you set this into motion, once you make this commitment to this transformation, which is awakening or allowing you to express pretty much a very young dream, a naive child dream. But I don't mean naive, well, I do mean naive as in naive, but I don't mean naive as in it's not right. I don't mean it as in it's impractical. It's one of those children's dreams where, as you grew older, you were thinking, well, why isn't the world like this? Why can't this happen? And now you've got to a point in your life where you can say to the world, hang on a minute, why can't this happen? Why can't we make it like this? Because this middle card here with Daniel is eloquence. There is a message to give forward. But I do believe that you are still really working on what that message is at the moment. My hair's a bit spiky today. I so need a haircut. But let's have a look at what's happened in the past. So, okay, so Two of Cups, the World with Psyche, and then Ten of Swords, indicating that there was a unity that opened a world up for you, brought in a tremendous amount of transformation, because this Ten of Swords really does strike me as transformation. Painful transformation, no doubt, but it was something that you worked towards. It was something that you was proud that you went through that pain. You were proud that you were a survival of that battle. Look at her, she's staring out. She's got all these swords stuck in her, but bear in mind she's a manga character, so she probably just keeps them there and is ready to draw them out at any second. And she's looking towards the sunrise. And I'm feeling like that sunrise is bringing energy and empowerment to her. There was a transformation in that, which set you off. This is beautiful. Okay, no, maybe not as beautiful as I thought. Set you off on a lot of work of crafting something for the world, where you felt that you was doing the right thing. You felt like you was in balance, but some decision from somewhere nipped it all in the bud. And that was where this pain came from, that you got so very hurt by, that there were messages that left you feeling quite alone and isolated. But bear in mind that physically, as in resources wise, you were left okay. You weren't just left with half a can of sardines living in a cardboard box. You know, there was a reason that it all, you were meaning so well, and then something came in from the outside. And I feel that that something that came in from the outside was just going, nah, it's not ready yet. Because whatever you was working on was not that childhood dream. It may have stemmed from that childhood dream, but either the world wasn't ready or you weren't ready. But now I feel that you are linking in more to the emotional oomph of that childhood dream. So we've got the coming into a pit. That's nice. Okay, things are going to start moving. I mean, I've already said that things were moving, but things are going to start moving. The success, as I say, the development, the improvement will be slowly, but you yourself, you're going to be moving fast. Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords. Tremendous clarity, tremendous information coming to you, the information that you have been requesting, which I saw with, where was it? This, oh yeah, the Seven of Pentacles card here, where the guy's looking into the book. This is stuff you've been looking into for quite some time, and make sense of this card from the what is it, Moonology Oracle deck. The answers you need are coming. Because this clarity, this forward motion is causing your dream to evolve. It's causing it to evolve into something a little more suitable for the world, something a little bit more fancied up. I mean, look at the guy there. He looks like sort of a Renaissance, Da Vinci era type person. I hope I said the right era there. Yeah, of course he's Renaissance. So he's fancying it up a bit. He's making it more acceptable for the royal court. But that's only natural, but you've had to go back to that childhood dream, because it's the concept of going back to first principles and building it up all up again. Because last time was a little bit mixed up. You meant well, it went really, really well, and then it just stopped. And that left you in a point of, what do I do? Because was that not worth it? Yes, it was worth it, because it was giving you skills for this time. And that was the whole point of it. So the disappointment of it all stopping, don't let that hold you back now. Because what's really interesting is that the primary card from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, on the bottom, under the prosperity, we have Sabnok with Fall of Empires, and that really jumped out to me. It's almost like by you doing what you are doing, you are starving something else or destroying something else, but you are not actively destroying this thing. You are making your thing more attractive, so that more are coming to your thing, which just removes resources, people, adulation, money, whatever, from this other thing that was the established situation. Like you open a nice pottery shop, or an electronics shop, or whatever, and there's just been one store in your town that has had the monopoly on this particular thing, you know, pottery or electronics or whatever, and then all of a sudden you've come along and you're giving better service, giving better value, because this reading is all about value and considering what has value and how to give it value. We've got Six of Pentacles on the bottom of the first deck. We've got Temperance here, balance, which is showing that this is part of your, this is something that is smiled upon by the angels, but it's something where you have to have that balance. And maybe that's what went wrong before, because maybe balance just went, oh no, not all the things are in place, not all the things are balanced. Now, I'm not sure that whatever upset the balance last time was necessarily anything to do with you or anything that you could have power over. It did feel, sorry, I'm referring to this mark card. It did feel like it was more external, but because of this external force, you were left on a point of being thrown out of balance because you couldn't work around it or cope with it, you know, whatever it was, you know. You have a shop on a pier and all the supporting struts are knocked out by a boat, then you can soon be left with only half a shop on a pier. Now, there's no way you could stop that boat, but you could maybe have put the shop in the harbour rather than on the pier, so that there's no struts to be knocked out, but you did not, you know, you were not responsible for the struts getting knocked out. Oh, sorry, I'm getting all confused with my metaphors here. But this time, you've got a far greater chance. Six of Stones, so Six of Pentacles again, and it's showing move. Oh, how interesting! We've got the Knight of Pentacles, so that is telling me that success is slow but steady, sure. But right next to that, we have the Chariot. It's almost like you are riding out. Right, I see. You're riding out, literally going, hi world, here I am, here's what I'm doing, this is, come and see, oh come all ye faithful, whatever, hear ye, you know, not quite a snake oil salesman patter, but you know, there's something to be learned from snake oil salesmen, and by going forward loudly, but with dignity, with balance, as this Temperance is urging here as well. And look how much this particular character is concentrating on that middle path. His horses are obviously facing in you know, different directions, but he is concentrating on his goal of moving forward. So go forward loudly but with dignity, because underneath that, this is a commitment that you are deciding to make, okay? And it will seem initially like there's not quite the material support that you wanted there to be, but that's fine, because as Mammon and the Boundaries card are saying, how much do you actually need while you are setting all this up? How much do you need? Five of Stones, obviously, Five of Pentacles. Here looks a little bit, this poor fairy is looking quite miserable there amongst these five stones that aren't quite in a circle. But I'm immediately brought to think she's come to those stones for comfort and she is safe. Those stones surround her and will give her the power that she needs while she recovers. Those stones are allowing her the freedom to whatever it is that she's bawling her eyes out over. The stones are giving her the freedom, number 5, to release poverty, lack. She can lack the grief from this point on. She can let it go and make a decision for a new commitment that really opens the world up for you. So you are definitely going through some form of healing situation here. There is someone who's wanting a commitment from you, and they're wanting to see, there is someone who is supporting your dream. But I also feel there may be someone around you that is a little more roguish, and you need to just make sure that they don't steal your ideas. That's what that Corsair is telling me. Maybe they're looking at you as a little bit of a wide boy and a little bit roguish yourself. Just remember, Aries, you are not Jack Sparrow. Nor do you necessarily want to be when you're doing such a good job of being you. So 8 of Wands, right? Once you have released whatever that grief is, and part of that grief is caused or highlighted, I'm not going to say caused, highlighted by the fact that you are putting all this work in and getting very little back. You're just getting enough back. But again, it's teaching you that lesson about value. Because what you are doing is valuable. And things will return to you because you're doing it eventually. But things will move quite fast. And it's almost like you've got to put your heart on one side Okay, you've got to put your heart on one side to fully commit. That's really interesting. So we've got 8 of Wands here, things changing fast. 3 of Swords, never a good sign. And this 7 of Mirrors. But the minute I'm seeing the mirrors, then the big main one is cracked. But I'm more immediately drawn to the idea of Wonderland through the looking glass. And the fact that the big one is cracked is saying there's so many different ways of looking at the situation, but she's working on a tapestry. Your plans, there will be some pain and transformation that are around you, and things changing around you that you will have some hurt over, but it's not affecting your plans. It's not getting in the way of what you are creating, although it is giving you plenty of new ways to look at what you are creating. That makes a lot more sense. Right. So, a future to grab or avoid. 7 of Cups. 5 of Scrolls. Ooh, the Devil card. I had a feeling he was going to crop up at some point. Yeah, be careful with paperwork in this time. Mercury retrograde or not. You know, even if we're talking... I can't remember when Mercury goes direct again. But yeah, just be careful of your paperwork. Be careful of the arguments that you're getting into, because you could be building rather than getting into the arguments. Okay, what you are building is what's causing the arguments. Hey ho, other people get over it. You don't need to engage. But there is a promised land at the end of this, so to speak. But there's so many traps along the way here. You do have to be really, really careful. Because 7 of Cups with the Devil... I mean, this 7 of Cups really does give another dimensional higher land here on the horizon. But with it being with the Devil, we've got the 4 of Wands. You've got to keep your commitments, but be very, very careful what it is that you commit to, because so much is open to change. And that's why recently you've been forced to look at yourself, or look to what's within purely your own power. No teamwork whatsoever. My brain has just gone, there's no I in team, there's no Aries in team. But it hasn't been a teamwork thing recently. It's been you working on you. No one else can work on you. Why would you need a team for that? And whatever it is that you are bringing into the physical world, it's still the main product of it is you. So, hopes and fears. Ace of Cups, 9 of Scrolls, Knight of Swords. That you may be going off half-cocked on a dream that is not necessarily worth it and is only going to cause you pain. Yes, there is some pain here, but this year you only got to look at the astrology. There's pain everywhere. But you've already been given the tools of how to survive said pain anyway. So all in all, I am seeing because at the very end here we've got 3 of Cups, celebration. 3 cards you may have noted. Right. Hey, this is good. 3 of Cups, celebration. I mean, it's still a happy card even in this like dark grimoire tarot. It's probably the happiest card in this deck, because even the Sun was a pretty miserable looking card. It's more about hope than it is about abundance. But there is celebration. There is motion to where you want to be. Her and the Hunter as the Chariot. The Empress, a good, bountiful harvest, as long as you stick with your commitments and don't make too many commitments. We have the 4 of Wands with with that commitment. There's commitment either coming to you, or that you are rededicating yourself to what it is that you are just starting at the moment. You will be rededicating yourself to this in a way that is pretty much almost magical, to be honest. That's 5 of Wands here, but I'm not getting any of that idea of conflict or whatever. Look, he's got his 5 spears and the clouds. You probably can't see it because of the glow from the screen, but the cloud, there you go. The clouds are parting before him. 5 is a number of magic. 5 is the number of man. So, and the reason I'm taking that aspect, the angel card, that's the energy all over this reading. We have the angel of glory. I sing praise and glory to the source of all life. This is what makes me think that you are really coming into your own. No, it's not coming into your destiny, that you are really excelling at being who you want to be in the world. You're not performing the destined events. You are performing the destined role, and that role can keep going from season to season to season until you choose to change that role. Okay, that's actually really, really nice. There's a lot of hard work there, but to be honest, Taurus, you've done a lot of that hard work. The main step for you now is simply to go, okay, I've done it. Am I going to put my money where my mouth is, and am I going to commit to this? So, if this means anything to you, Aries, comment down below. Like, share, subscribe. Oh, and there's a link down there I didn't mention to the readings regarding the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. Well worth a look. And I think, if I remember correctly, your reading for that should tally up very nicely with this one. So yeah, have a look. All right, cheers.